and for Liberia and for Liberians as well, because this will give us a great gateway into not only creating full-time employment opportunity, but many people will get an opportunity to get into the exploration field and also the geology field as well.
Okay. So, looking at looking at your organization, the Liberian people and those listening will be concerned and want to know because this is a huge. From just the brief introduction, it tells you that Liberians tend to know much and tend to better benefit from this initiative and to revise the minds of Liberians from the old way of mining and moving into the world of technology. So what could be your mission?
Well, one of the things that we have to keep in mind is that the traditional way of doing mining and exploration is very expensive. In most cases, exploration take years, and there's not always a guarantee that you're going to find good results. So with this technology, cutting edge technology that will be introduced into the Liberian people, it's going to take that exploration time down from years to weeks. Whereas we can find where the mineral deposit is, tell you exactly where it's located, do a 3D mapping for you, and also tell you where to start drilling from. The good thing about it is you and I are very familiar with, and we've seen a lot of stories. You've talked about it on this program as well, where in many mining sectors, the waste that's
Yeah,
left
yeah,
over,
yeah,
what usually happens to it? A lot of times, those companies just take those and they end up in the rivers and so forth, and the community doesn't benefit. With our technology and working along with us, we're able to take that very waste product and that soil and turn it into fertilizer. We're also able to take that soil and use it to do road construction with it. So the economic impact of it is immense towards that very community. Now, if you take that soil and give it to those in the agricultural sectors, the papeda, the old miner in that particular community, now they can grow their crops. We've just used the land or that particular area for mining. Now we're taking that very soil that was used and left over. Now we're giving it back to the community to say, let's grow our food stuff with it.
Wow.
Now that's economic development. Now those communities that may not have roads, now instead of relying on outside entities to say we have to bring in all these other materials to make roads, we can use that very soil for road construction. That's actually a whole lot more durable than the quota that we have now.
So are you trying to say that instead of just digging the pits and leaving it undone as usual in the traditional way, it wouldn't be that way anymore?
It won't be that way anymore working along with us. The company that we're going to be working with is called Arnic. They're out of Australia. The CEO of that company, Jeffrey Wade, along with one of our Liberian partners from Chicago, Illinois, Mr. Honorable Giacomo Wet. He will be here next week. The exploration field. Those who have more than 10 and was more about this technology working along with us. The exploration time there. This is our we can sit on discussions about the advances in mineral refining technology. The good thing about this technology is that it just doesn't work offshore, I mean onshore, it also work for offshore too. And the offshore component of it, what it really is a hydrocarbon exploration tool that detects where the gas is, the oil, and then compensates the reservoir by measuring the natural electromagnetic anomalies of it. Years to find out where it's at. But with this offshore refining technology, we can actually do that within less than 2 years. So now let's imagine you yourself, you're an investor. You come to Liberia and you're willing to invest a lot of your resources into it. If you can get a quicker return on your investment, what will you do with the added income? You're more willing to invest
Invest more and more.
more and more into that particular region. We want to make Liberia the gate gateway and the hub for exploration that's safe and it's effective, and people can get a quicker return on their investment. The other thing that we also think about is the corporate social responsibility
Yeah,
of it.
they
And
know
that,
that's major thing. That's something where in a lot of the giving communities where people go get minerals and do other concession businesses, the community feel challenged about that. That's
yes,
one thing.
yes, that's one of the biggest challenges. I was just talking to a fellow from Grand Bassa who will be attending the conference, and that was one of his complaints about companies coming there. They don't mind you working, but the level of corporate social responsibility back to those communities are non-existent. The community a lot of times don't feel like they're a part of it or to get anything back. Lots is taken out, but it's not returned. Whereas with this, we have a policy that nothing goes to waste. So everything that is used, we formulate and develop partnerships and relationships. So for us to do any kind of exploration with any company, we have to know what are you giving back to that community? How is the Omad and the Papillon going to benefit? What is our tangible goals within the next year? Because we're not saying, oh, we'll do it 5 years from now or 10 years from now when we find something. Because we're assuring you with 94 to 98% accuracy where the minerals are.
Okay, so that means people are not going to be testing as usual. You just come and dig, and you don't. So,
So
you'll be telling the exact.
we'll be throughout our mineral refiner technology system. We'll be telling you exactly where to start drilling from.
So maybe in this building, we say there's a diamond here.
Well, let's say for example, there's diamond here, right? Using our satellite system and algorithms and so forth, and it takes some time to detect all of that because we have to let the technology itself play itself out.
Okay.
So once we're able to let you know exactly where it's at, we'll actually tell you with precision where to start drilling from. As a result of that, it prevents what they call dry holes. And in exploration, a lot of times what happens is people just start digging and you hope to find stuff. It's not necessarily a guaranteed. And you can spend years upon years trying to find something that does not exist. But we're coming in, we're alleviating that. And we're also saving that company a lot of money in the process. Whereas something that would usually take you years and perhaps millions upon millions of dollars, or if not hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of dollars, we're cutting that short by 80%.
Okay. So please, we have not started accepting calls. Please don't call. I always told you I haven't read the lines. Please don't call. So I saw your brochure, and your campaign focuses on your slogan there says what lies beneath. And what was that slogan?
Well,
We should discover what lies beneath.
when we think about Liberia, all of us, and I myself being a Liberian from born in Jacotown, my dad's from Nimba, my mom's from Maryland County.
Your dad's from
My
Nimba?
dad's from Nimba.
Oh, so you my Nimba brother.
Well, I'm your Nimba brother. For sure, we gotta make sure we swallow some GB when this is all said and done. Okay. Yeah, my mom's from Maryland County, my dad's from Nimba County. We know that our country is very, very rich in natural resources.
Definitely.
If not, in my personal opinion, one of the richest on the coast. But one of the things that haven't been done in a long time is we haven't had an opportunity to discover how rich it is. It's a lot of part of the country that has not been tapped as far as discovering what lies beneath. So our slogan of what lies beneath gives us an opportunity to explore a modern 21st century technology that has been used. By the end of the year we will be in, or it will have been deployed in on over 500 different locations on the continent, in Europe, in Asia, in Latin America as well, on over 500 different sites where it's been effective.
Okay.
The goal of it is for us to catalog where the resources are, the depth of it, and how much, the grade of it, and where they're actually located. So now let's say, for example, you have some land, as we talked about earlier, to say you have some gold somewhere. We can tell you where to start drilling from. Once we're able to map out where this is actually located, it makes it a whole lot easier for there to be any kind of disruption
Okay.
on the ecosystem of the land. Even in places where you and I know this very well about Liberia, we have a lot of forest area, lots of forest. And a lot of times when companies start their exploration process, especially on land, they go in and destroy those forests. They tear down the heavy timber and so forth to try to find minerals. Even in dense forests, our technology has the capability to penetrate it and tell you exactly where those minerals are. Our goal before you even start any kind of drilling process in your exploration, what lies beneath, the location of it, the depth of it, and the grade using our satellite and field electronic sensing.
Okay.
So that way there's no guesswork whatsoever. So that way we're not taking a chance to say something may be here or something may not be here. We're telling you where the minerals are. And then the good thing about it is that this will allow the government of Liberia to catalog where these resources are. And then they can tell any company or entity that's approved to do exploration, we've already done our surveys. We've already done our legwork. You want to go to Grand Cape Mountain to do some exploration? This is the plot that you have. This is the claim that you have. This is where you start digging from. We know how much you're going to get back. But in the process, we're also going to create a lot of jobs in return. Because now the soil, as we talked about earlier, that soil is being reused again. That soil is going back to the agricultural sector. That soil is going back to public works. Now, public works got more work to do in those rural communities that we don't have access to or don't have roads to get to. So the economic benefit of using this technology and working with geomining and intergeominerals intelligence and ONRIC is very massive.
So talking about job creation, this has been one of the major points raised by the local community, the affected communities. So you being a Liberian, I believe this should be your priority. You'll be going to work with a lot of companies and coming to Liberia. So how intense will your stand be with those companies that are coming instead of people giving jobs to foreigners, job the Liberians supposed to be done?
Well, we're a Liberian company. Ourselves and Geomining Environmental Consultancy of Liberia, along with Mr. Carlos Tengba and Gaga Moet, we're a Liberian-owned company. So our focus will always be to hire first. Let's hire locally. We understand the soil. We understand the people. We understand that the unemployment rate is high, and a lot of our young people are yearning for greater economic development. And this technology is going to provide a greater economic development for so many people. So when companies do come in, we are looking to have a lot of investors and investment opportunity at this conference next week. This would be an opportunity for them to come and say, we have this, but we're looking for investors. We'll try to find them. But one of the things that those who are coming and do work with us will have to understand is that we're going to hire locally. We're going to reach out to Stella Maris. We're going to reach out to University of Liberia. We're going to reach out to Connington University, Maryland University, Blue Crest, and many of these other colleges and universities, even the high school programs, to look for individuals and students who are qualified and interested in agriculture, in geology, to study mineral finding, onshore and offshore, because we're also able to detect hydrocarbon exploration is something that we can able to do with respects to, detecting gas and oil and where they're actually located. So this opportunity is vast, but our focus will be to look locally in our various communities, in our very colleges, work with the university professors and teachers. Who are these students that are reaching out? And also, if we don't have some that are reaching out, we can say, let's set up a gateway, a pathway to let our students know that, good, there's nothing wrong with studying criminal justice or going to law or going to fire service. But yet, our nation is so rich in resources, why not look at geology? Why not look at agriculture? Why not look at gas exploration, onshore and offshore? So now we're empowering them to just think a little bit broader, to say that, you know what, I don't have to go anywhere. The job is here, it's being created. Let me study this pathway. And hopefully one day we can say that young man or your nephew or my nephew that went to school and got his geology degree, we can hire him. The lands and mines require that any company that is doing any kind of work, you got to have a minimum of 2 geologists there, right? One of the things that we've discussed in some of our meetings, and hopefully we're given the opportunity to, is that if companies choose to work with us and they're given their return on their investment will be a whole lot quicker. Okay. So now, if you're going from years to weeks to find out where your minerals are, you're looking at yourself and you say, well, if it happens so quickly for me, with this percentage of guarantees, assurance rather, I need to hire more people. Where are you going to find those people at? Well, we got a lot of good young people that are extremely brilliant. Okay. Let's get them from the schools and so forth.
So there are many people, even though you're from Liberia, but there are many Liberians who will have these opportunities and would now want to invest back in Liberia. So why did you choose Liberia? And having choose Liberia, what do you see in the next 5 years that you think could be your prospect goal in the next 5 years?
Well, Liberia is always home. Okay. Right? I'm here all the time. Sometimes a little too much. Okay. It's nothing like coming back home and enjoying some red oil potato grains and some cassava leaf.
And that's why you've been enjoying the rest of the time.
That's what I was at Nuku's restaurant earlier today down in Mamba Point, and she always feeds me good. So, okay. But the question is, why Liberia? We know that for years, our mining and exploration sector hasn't gotten the needed attention. And I think now we see a golden opportunity for us to introduce a cutting-edge technology that will bring Liberia's exploration field into the 21st century. So why not Liberia? We have so much that has been untapped. So many communities, so many people that are looking for employment opportunity to get into this sector. And the opportunity for us to catalog and see exactly where our resources are is great for all of us. Geomining, environmental consultancy is leading that charge. Intergeo Minerals Intelligence is leading that charge. Honoric, Mineral Finder Technology is leading that charge. And next week, the CEO of that company is flying from Australia to make his first visit to Liberia so we can have these conversations and talk and work with individuals of like minds who are ready to take that mineral exploration pathway to a different level, where they're not doing things the old way, but rather we are enhancing and making things a whole lot better for all of us. And in the process, we're not looking at create hundreds of jobs. We're looking to create thousands of jobs in the process for local Liberians. And I know a lot of Liberians are yearning for that, and this is the opportunity to do so.
So currently looking at the mining sector in Liberia, there are a few mining companies that are talking about Mentasty, talking about the Big Mighty, and there's many of our Liberians, young Liberians and people living in the remotest part of the country feel that they do not have the job opportunity and so forth. And this also, with looking at that agreement, benefits coming back to Liberia is so less because they have the monopoly. So what difference with your organization bring to the mining sector, particularly where you will be working with a lot of companies coming to Liberia, and what does the government and the people of Liberia stand to gain economically?
The people of Liberia stand to gain a lot economically. One, we're creating lots of jobs in the process. Now the government has an opportunity to catalog what we have, what we don't have, where it's located, what is the depth, with 3D mapping of it. Okay. And we know when we see a 3D map,
so you'll be helping government to discover what they have been in.
Exactly, and I like how you use that word. It will give them an opportunity to catalog everything in the country. So that way, if a company comes and say, hey, we were able to extract such and such and such and such, we've already given you the data in the report to say this is what's really what lies beneath. So if it's gold that you're looking for, if it's diamonds that you say you're looking for, we're able to tell you exactly where the gold is, where the diamond is, and exactly how much is there. So that way, this is an economic benefit for the government because now they are able to raise more funding for it. They're able to raise more money because whatever agreement they may have with those companies, everyone will be able to live in regards to those agreement that's actually written. But the good thing about it is that it's going to create a lot of jobs for Liberians. Because now, as we talked about, if you're getting your return back a whole lot quicker, you'll want to do more work in that region. So for you to do more work in that region and work with us, one of the agreements that has to be written is that we have to hire a home. We got to hire locals. Not just locals to quote unquote do the minuscule job, but we got to hire locals that are making a nice living wage, making enough to take care of their family, making a wage that's decent and conducive to what a good life should be. Management position should go to Liberians. And those people in the community, if they're into agriculture, that soil, we got to be able to return that very soil to them so that way the Omani population can continue to grow their crops. If they're able to grow more crops with that very soil that once wasn't used before, now they can go back out there and sell it. Okay. Right? If that soil is reused again and we're making road construction of it, now we're building roads towards their very communities. Their houses have easy access for you to get to. We don't have to walk in the forest for hours or on motorcycles to get to certain places. We're using that very soil for it. So it benefits the government in the sense that now we're able to catalog where the resources are. We're able to try to do a survey of where everything is.
Okay. So let us look at the opportunity for Liberian businesses and investors.
Well, when we think about investors, one of the things, we have a list of investors. Some will be here next week that are looking forward to the trip. Which for many, it will be their first to Liberia. As we mentioned earlier, the CEO, Jeff Wade, this will be his very first trip to Liberia. So we're excited about that and excited to host him. Many individuals and organizations have been very courteous to us as far as looking forward to meeting with him and setting a private consultation with him. And that's another thing. If you have more than 10 hectares of land, have all the necessary documents to do mining and exploration, and you'd like to set up a private consultation, you can reach out to myself or you can reach out to Carlos Tingba of Geo Mining and Environmental Mining and Environmental Consultancy, and we can perhaps set a private meeting where we can get a chance to talk about investment opportunity. If we're able to catalog and lay out what we have and what we don't have, where to find it, the depth of it, do a mapping for you, tell you exactly where to start drilling from, that will attract more investors because, as we talked about, they're able to get a quicker return on their investment, which will spur economic growth and development. Because now, as part of any agreement that we'll have with them, or anyone should have with them, is what is your level of corporate social responsibility? What will you do? What's the timetable for you to work with these, with the local communities? If we sit down with the clan chief, and the village said, well, we want a hospital, we want a new clinic, we want better schools, we'll give you access to this. We got to put a time frame on it. If it's not done by this, what is the penalty for it? So by knowing with precision where your minerals are, they're not saying don't come and don't extract.
Yeah, talking about a time frame, I think those are going to be some of the major things because there are companies who will come and bring agreements, and at the end of the day, they're not living up to
right, exactly. We've seen it for years, right? We read about all this stuff in the newspaper, we see it online and so forth, and we see the people in the community complain about it, and their complaints is legitimate. And that's why when you asked the question earlier, why Liberia, is why not Liberia? Are those people in the villages not worthy of a good life? Are they not worthy of good schools and good hospitals? They are. But if you're to do work in that community based on working with us and this mineral refining technology that we're introducing to Liberia, it will give you an opportunity to get an easier, quicker return on your investment. Now you're able to meet your corporate social responsibility at an accelerated pace. And now those hospitals can say, you know what, we made enough. We got our return. Let's give back because this is the terms of the agreement that we actually made. Sure. We told the community we help built roads. Now we really don't have to sit here and import so many materials because working with Honoric and Intergeo, we're able to have the technology to go and turn that very soil into road construction. And we have the very technology on hand that's been built within the community by the local community to go and take that very soil and turn it into fertilizer. Now the agricultural sector, as we said many times this evening, is now being impacted. So instead of everything being discarded, we're saying, oh, I've been growing cassava leaf on that side and growing.
Cassava leaf getting so fresh.
The cassava leaf is fresh. You know, the potato grains is sweeter because now nothing goes to waste. Though that company will be motivated because it's the length of time that it's taken to get that return back.
So before I just get to your relationship with the legislature in terms of getting this done, I want you to get to this question. How do your technology intend to protect the environmental, space of our country? Because one thing I've noticed over the time, other mining companies and other companies that produce waste, it has too many environmental hazards and effect on the community. So
we will work directly if given the opportunity to do so. And one thing that we've actually we had a meeting yesterday, myself, Carlos Tingbach, Geigo Moet, and Jeff Wade. We had a Zoom meeting last night. One of the things that we wanted to do was do perhaps a pilot program. It's still in discussion. Okay. And hopefully next week we'll get a chance to talk to the necessary folks, either Lands and Mines or NIC or through the legislature to see how we can perhaps do a pilot program. We'll work directly with EPA. They know the laws of Liberia a whole lot better and what it's supposed to and what's not supposed to do. We also got, at the end of the year, well over 500 studies and cases where if environmentally, our tech has to have no harmful impact whatsoever to the environment. It is safe and how it's actually done. Certain things, obviously, I can't talk about on the radio because it's protected information and so forth. But those who we have agreement to work with and so forth, we're able to divulge that information to them with regards to it. But we've never had a case in any of the well over 450 cases that we've deployed and used this where anyone's come back to ever say they were harmful to the environment. Remember, nothing goes to waste. That soil can be used for agriculture. The Minister of Agriculture will be happy because now it's going to make his job. Granted, he has a lot on his plate. It will make his job easier because now he can go to that very community that may be concerned about the company that's doing mining there and say, no, we've done our due diligence. This works. We're going to create jobs in that sector, not just the mining sector or the exploration sector, but now the agricultural sector, there will be an increase. The unemployment rate in that sector will decrease because they're getting their new employees from where? The colleges, the universities, the high schools, the local people. And God forbid if that company decided going to build a school in that community, so now the local kids who went to that very school in that community that they grew up, that they were born and raised at, now they're giving right back to their community. And it's the same thing for turning that into road construction. Same process. Heavy equipment, because you got to take a lot of heavy equipment to that particular area to do road work. So now machine work, mechanics would be needed. So the trickle-down effect of it is immense. But this, as we stated, it doesn't only work for onshore, but it works for offshore exploration. Okay. Because one thing we haven't done in Liberia, and this is just me being a Liberian born along with my Geigo Moet and Carlos Tingbach and Amos Wu, we understand that we know for a fact there's some gas along this coastline, there's some oil on that coastline. Right?
Just drilling.
We know it's there, but for years people tried drilling, right? They haven't found it. This is an opportunity, probably within the next 2 years, for us to locate where it's at.
Okay. So let's look at your workings with the legislature because I believe they are the people's representative. Do you have you started talking to the legislature?
We've reached out. Many have been very, very positive in their expressions of working with us. The feedback that we've actually gotten has been immense. Many of them will be at the many representatives will be at the conference as well as government officials will also be there as well because they see the need. They would like us to catalog our resources. This is an opportunity for economic development, job creation. They're excited about it.
Yeah,
They
I
want
think this is a great news because I remember the last State of the Nation's address from the president. He talked about other mineral resources that being discovered in Liberia. So you're coming in. I think it could be one of the major help to the country.
And we hope it is because this is an opportunity for us to see what lies beneath. Give them a picture, a 3D picture of where things are, where things are not, where companies can and cannot go, where they can start drilling from, how much of it is actually there. It'll give them a little bit more of a better leverage in their negotiation because now they have all the data points. Now they can go and say, well, it's fine that you can do work here. We know what's there. The survey has been done.
So by that when government is discussing with investors, they already know what they discussing.
Their work has already been done. So that way give them an upper hand in negotiation. Any negotiation is always leverage, right? So now they can say, okay, well, that's fine. We don't mind that. The work has been done by Orderic, Intergeo, and Geo Mining. They've done the work. But now when you go, that particular community, this is what they're expecting.
So that means you will be mostly helping government into lose or gaining in most of these agreements.
That's one of the goals is to work with anyone, not just government, but also the private sector. So even though we may put it out or the information is there, but private sector companies anywhere, whether it could be in Liberia, I know we're doing some work in Ghana, Sierra Leone, and so forth, we're able to do their exploration for them, regardless of who they may be.
Thank you so much. So, folks, if you're just joining us, this is Blaze Radio 90.7, and the program is The Roundtable. My name is Archie Bob Yene. So, you listen to our guest. So, we're going to dissuade for now to go to your program. You have your planned activities. So, would you mind telling what?
So, July 15th, 9:30 at Bella Casa, we'll be having a mineral technology conference there. The CEO of the company, Jeff Wade, he will be there. Myself will be there. Gako Moet, Carlos Tingwai, and many other stakeholders as well, which will include government officials. I know we've reached out to the Vice President office, NIC, and many other stakeholders, Lands and Mines, and the list of people that have heard about this have just been immense, and many other exploration companies and mining companies in the country are excited about this. So the conference is going to be July 15th at Bella Casa at 9:30 sharp. Now 9:30 sharp, not
Liberian time. Why you laughing? That's not Liberian time.
I didn't say it. The studio. I didn't say it. People, the man said it.
Okay.
So 9:30 sharp, and that's when it will start. It's invitation only. So if you'd like to be at the event, at the end of this program, you can either give myself a call or give Carlos Tingwai a call, and we'll be able to just ask a few questions. And one of the questions is to make sure that you have a minimum of 10 hectares of land. If you are interested in exploration, allowing us to do that for you.
Okay.
And that you have all your necessary paperwork from Lands and Mines with LRA and everything's in good standings.
Oh, so that means anybody listening that wants to work along and they want to attend the conference, it should be people who have
vested exactly.
lands.
And those is by invitation only, so not just anybody can show up because it is a list that we are going by. Okay. And if you're not on that particular list, don't get offended if they say no. So if you have more than 10 hectares, you've gotten all the necessary paperwork from Lands and Mines, LRA, and all the regulatory steps you've taken, and you're ready to get into that exploration phase, come. Let us have a conversation how this mineral refining technology, just cutting edge technology, can not only save you money long term, but it also can help to develop economic growth in that particular community. Because we're cutting your exploration time now pretty much by in half, and we're saving you up to 80%. But what we're also saying is that we can, with assurance, we have a success rate of finding what lies beneath above 94%.
Okay. Well, folks, at this point we're gonna let our guests rest and we activate the phone lines. Let's see whether you have some inquiry to make. You listen to him, and this is a better opportunities. Those of you who have your land, you have people just mining there, you're not benefiting anything, you don't know what they are taking. There are people who, for a very long time, they're just in your land, they over your rivers, taking things you don't know what they're taking. So I think with this is the time that Liberians get involved, so that before people come on your properties to start mining, you already know what is there and how that can benefit you. So 0777907 907. Let's hear you. Call us on 888-57-7750. Call us if you have some inquiry to make. Like I said, every day we don't talk politics. We talk about issues that will affect you positively because, mind you, if this coming, you listen to a whole lot of opportunities that will be coming. Before them, people will dig the source, and when they dig the holes, they just leave them there. It is not impacting the community, and it erases the lives of your children. But this time around, the very soil is going to be used for agriculture, like he said, rules and other stuff that will benefit you in the community and giving you the leverage to be involved. And I just, so I think it's necessary that you also call and be a part and listen and ask him one or two questions that you feel he could answer for you, what you need to know about VR technology and how some of the questions we ask you, maybe you want to get some clarity on that. You can do that 0777907907888 888-577-7750. Those are the numbers you can call them to be a part of today's edition of the round table. It's not about politics. I know when we discussing politics, but now phones lines are busting over. Yeah, people want to give their on political matters, but this is about you. This is about Liberia, as we have your son who is not thinking about carrying the company to elsewhere, but bringing it back to Liberia that you'll be benefiting from. So creating jobs and so forth. So you said the program going to be to Belacasa.
Yes, the program will be Wednesday, 9:30 sharp. That's when we'll start, and we will have a couple of speakers in between at the beginning of it that will say a few words, and after which myself, Jeff Wade from Honor It, who's flying from Australia, will be here to introduce this technology to us. And then we also will also speak about the benefits of it, how it's used, the intricacies of it, how this technology benefits Liberia. We'll also talk about investment opportunities for individuals who may have the land, have all the documents, but may not have the resources. We've got commitments from 2 banks already, local banks, that will be at the conference to offer those opportunities for investments. So the resources will be available if you're serious, if you're ready, for us to take Liberia to another level when it comes to our resource management. Not only onshore, but also the offshore part of it, because those are important for us to develop the country as well.
So what are the mineral potential you see for Liberia?
Oh man, it's rich. It's one of the things I think in my wildest imagination is that if we were to set up something, and this is just me thinking, where every county had its own mineral resource production, imagine economic development. Monrovia right now, we have what is about 1.7, 1.8 million people in Monrovia, right? Imagine if those counties were able to develop cities, road connectivity, and it's being funded by the natural resources of the soil and benefits of that. So our potential is immense, but we can't tap into those potential when we don't know what lies beneath. And this is an opportunity for us to find out what lies beneath, what it's worth, what is the value of it, and how can we as Liberians capitalize on it. And that's what the conversation will be about.
Okay. So, folks, again, this is the round table. We're going to take this short break from our sponsors. When we come back, we again read the phone lines that we hear you to give your opinion on the discussion here. Let's take this break from our sponsor. Like I said, always, you can also be our sponsors on this program. But I hear from our sponsor and be right back.
Are you seeking financial empowerment, dreaming of building your future? Then your solution is Bokonjida Group of Companies. Bokonjida, your trusted partner in microfinance, construction, and general services. We provide microfinance for many institutions like House of Representatives, the Liberian Senate, National Port Authority, Governance Commission, LRA, Gender Ministry, Corporate Development Authority, GAC, and Auto Lines Ministry and Agency, with a percentage range from 15% to 20%. At Bokonjide, we understand your aspiration, your goals, and your dreams. That's why we offer tailored microfinance solutions designed to uplift individuals and communities alike. Whether you are an entrepreneur with a vision or a family aiming for a better tomorrow, our microfinance services pave the way to financial independence. But that's not all. Bokonjida Group of Companies doesn't just stop at microfinance. Our expert construction team brings your architecture dreams to life. From residential to commercial projects, we craft spaces that inspire, innovate, and endure. And when it comes to general services, Bokonjide is your one-stop destination. From facility management to logistics, we ensure seamless operation every step of the way. With our apartment rental and furnished apartment for long and short-term stay, you will enjoy the luxury of comfort. Join the thousands who have entrusted their dreams to Bokonjide. Experience unmatched professionalism, dedication, and integrity. With Bokonjide Group of Companies, your success is not just a goal, it's our mission. Visit our Capitol Building office or find us in the Royal Garden Plaza on Crown Hill Broad Street, or call today 0770-520-958 or 0777-017-603 or 0886-622-599 or email Bokonjide Group of Companies at gmail.com. Bokonjide Group of Companies, microfinance, construction, general services, your partner in progress. New Day, do something.
Bokonjida is our partner, 0777907907. Let's get to this line. Hello.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm good. What is your name and where do you call from?
So my name is Johnson Jackson. Let me say thanks to the studio guest. Follow his liberation
Okay.
and pray that the government can see reason to work alone. And actually, thank you for the show. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, Jackson. Call us. You can do the same. Call us and be a part. If you have some inquiry, you could make that to him as he is here. 0886029333 is our Lustar number. Or call us on 0777907907. Call and let's hear from you. This is Blaze Radio 90.7, and you have our studio guest few minutes from now till 6 o'clock. We'll be calling this during the day here on this Friday's edition. Like I said, we normally don't discuss politics every time on the show. Let's get to the phone line and get this person. Hello,
Hello.
how you doing?
Yeah, I'm okay.
What is your name?
My name is Moses David. I'm joining you from Rehab.
Okay, Rehab. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me say many thanks to the studio guest. I think he spoke well, and I hope that the government will really see reason to work with people like this, especially Liberians that are involved in the mining sector, because these things are going to impact the country. So we got actually you really notice that when you look at some of our land, especially going around our finger area, people just dig all over the area and there's no impact on the community and the society. So I think that with his company and what they are getting involved into, it's going to bring a benefit to Liberians. So I appreciate him. I appreciate you for hosting us there.
Thank you so much, and we appreciate you from calling as well. 777-907-907-887. Sorry, the 87 number is down. 886-029-333 is the Lustar number. Those of you who are Lustar sales subscribers, and you can call us as well on Orange 0777-907-907. 907, and you're going to be a part. It's good to be a part on these issues when they come, because at the end of the day, you are the community. Well, I get this person. Hello,
Hello?
how you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. How you doing, my brother? This is John Morvat, and I do join you from my Johnsonville resident this afternoon.
Go ahead.
Yes, actually, thank you for the show. As you listen to the previous caller, and these are the people that government actually needs to work with, and in the mining sector. And again, let me say thanks to the studio guest. I think you said it all, and like you said, shows that they you not see the people calling. Once you're not talking about Unity Party or the CDC, or other political party, you not see the Liberians calling. And these are topics that are very essential to us as Liberians. Let me say thank you, and thank you to your studio guest this afternoon.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So, folks, as we go along, we still anticipate your calls. We still wait to hear from you as well. So, we're going to get back to our guest and hear a whole lot from him. So, we were talking about the mineral potentials of Liberia because of recent, the Minister of Lands and Mines was called to the House of Representatives, where there was a quote-unquote oil discovery in Buchanan, some part of Grand Bassa County. And at the end of the day, the minister said those were not discovery. It was just the waste materials that was on show. So people had the perception that there were oil there. So how the question is how your company will help to dissuade the minds of people from just having the perception of these, like to not the experience what happened in this situation.
Remember, earlier we talked about waste that comes from drilling, right? With this process, it calls for us to build better relationships with the community.
Okay.
As we talked about, nothing's going to go to waste. So now, instead of, and that waste or byproduct could have came from, let's say, diesel or something, or it could have came from anything, or just somebody taking gas oil spill somewhere and nobody reported and people see it. And what we want to do, and our goal is to eventually to work with the local schools, local educational system, and better educate the community on what to look for, what not to look for. It's a public-private partnership, right? Where we go into these various communities and say, this is who we are. We get to know each other. We sit down on the floor, we eat a bowl of cassava leaf together. What do you want from us? This is what we're expecting, but this is how we're going to go about doing everything. So we better educate the public and the community. We prevent waste by making sure we hold people accountable. We hold the mining companies accountable that are working there. We tell them and work with them, hey, this is what we're supposed to be doing for these folks. They're giving us access to their lane. Respect it. That's my brother. That's my sister. Respect their house. Respect their property. But we prevent the waste by reusing that very soil for agriculture purposes, for public works purposes. Even on the offshore component, when we're looking for hydrocarbon exploration, because we have the hydrocarbon exploration tool, where we're going to have the opportunity to look in the Atlantic and detect gas and oil. That's bringing more resources to the country. So instead of us having one or two overpass bridges,
we're gonna have more.
we can have
we can
a
have
whole
maybe
lot.
4, 5, 6.
We can have 4, 5, 6, right? Okay. I was in Togo not long before I came. It was amazing. You go to Ghana, you see how many overpass bridges. You go to Cote d'Ivoire next door, you see a lot. So this is an opportunity to bring a lot of resources, not only to the government, but to the local economy. Now instead of that 1 or 2 overpass bridges, we got several. Instead of traffic jams in the morning, right? We got better ways to get to Douala Market and ELW. and get to ELWA and all those other places. It's about cataloging. It's about being smart with the natural resources. It's about getting us to understand that we have to get into the 21st century. The old ways, it worked at that time. You and I were not born back then, but we see pictures of our forefathers ride on horses, right? And they used to do it. And I remember when I was in college, I read a book where some guy made the quote that thing on four wheels. He was talking about a car. Nobody will ever buy it. It will never come to fruition. Well, we went from riding horses, we driving cars, right? And then we went from driving cars. Now there's stuff out there in China where they got the flying cars. So the technology is advancing. So what do we have to do as Liberians? We got to advance with the technology. We got to get up to speed to new ways of doing things a whole lot better and a whole lot safer. That's not harmful. As we talk about the people in those communities, they deserve good things. Because now when you're able to build better roads and build a better agricultural sector for them using that very soil, now they can build a house. They got what, LEC 24 hours. Because now we're getting more funding in that particular community. They can go ahead and say, well, I'm going to put solar panels up. So the economic impact is just immense.
So since you're dealing with mining and exploration, I believe most of your activities will be focused on the remotest part of the country. So how also do you intend in providing awareness and education for people outside of Monrovia and in the local communities?
Well, one of the things that we actually do is we have a great outreach program, because the benefit just doesn't reach to them. The benefit also reach to us here in the capital city, because we all got families in those rural areas. My dad is from Flompa, Maryland, Nearby County.
Wow. And
Right.
I think to some extent we somehow connected because my mom from Raigipo, right?
So we cousins then, right?
Yeah.
We know each other. But those communities will always link, because those of us that have access to the tech can go back and say, hey, this is what's going on. This is how we can build better. And that's our family. They'll see us with new ideas, ways to make their life easier. We got chainsaws now, right, that we can use to take down massive amounts of trees. Before, they just had this saw. That was manual labor. Times change. Now you and I that have those access to that, we're able to take it back to the old man and pop in there and show them that. You got people in the villages now that are asking for smartphones, an iPhone 18 Pro Max. I still got my Android phone from 4 or 5 years ago, but one of the old ones that asked me for an iPhone phone, she told me, she said, I want an iPhone. You come and bring me an iPhone 16. That's so mine.
I'm using Android.
I'm still using my Android phone. But that goes to show that regardless of where they're at, they want access to new things and better things. Because those new things and those better things will make their life easier. So having access to this mineral finder technology to know where the minerals are, the grade of it, the depth of it, the location of it, where to start drilling, and then we're able to reuse that and to catalog it, not only for the government, but also for that private company. Because now they're saving money. Now they can take those resources and give it and do other things with it that can have an economic impact on that local community. So if it's, let's say, 50 hectares of land we're working on, they're able to find it in a shorter period of time. They may go back to Lands and Mines and say, you know what? We want another 50. And Lands and Mines may say, the government may come back and say, well, what did you do with the first 50? We got our return so quickly back, working with InterGeo and GeoMining and Honoric, that we were able to build 3 schools in that community, a hospital. We were able to fund about 30 or 40 students to go to school. We hired almost 500 people in the surrounding communities to work with us. We're doing so good, we want another 50 to repeat the same process. and hire, if not more people. Now, instead of that 500, you're looking at 1,000 people.
1,000 people.
So now that 1,000 people were 1,000 people a year or two ago that were sitting at home doing what? Absolutely nothing. Or were out in the street hustling. But now they got full-time employment. A lot of them who were not thinking about going to school before, they're going back to school. They're getting an education. The old man who said, nope, I don't want to do that. I just want to farm. Now they're growing their crops as well. They're able to take their crops to the local markets and bring them to town and sell it and go back. And it's a year-round process. As long as we are able to find where it's at, we're not wasting so much time on the drilling process, we're able to have an impact.
So that's great. Again, just share a little about your event, and we just wrap up.
So, name is Prince Kaipi. I want to thank everyone for this opportunity to be in studio with this honorable gentleman, neighbor, and brother. The name of the company is Center Geo Minerals Intelligence, Honoric Technology Services, and we're working with Geo Mining Environmental Consultancy, led by Mr. Carlos Tingba. Next week, Wednesday, we will be hosting a conference at the Bella Casa Hotel at 9:30 sharp. Not like bird time now, 9:30 sharp. So we mean 9:30. It's for those who are interested in mineral exploration, not just onshore, but also offshore. If you have more than 10 hectares of land and have all the necessary paperwork and are interested in it, can I give them the phone number?
Yeah, you can give the phone
Okay.
number.
Please feel free to call myself, or you can call Carlos Tingba. Carlos's number is 077-047-9312. 077-047-9312. Or give me a call at 077-026-0910. That's 077-026-0910. Or call me on my other number, 1-302-358-5387. 302-358-5387. And we can talk about putting you on the list to be in attendance at the conference. It is by invitation only, so you have to be on that list to be in attendance with us. And also, if you like to schedule a free consultation with us, we can certainly accommodate that if you're into that space, and we can have that discussion.
So it was a wonderful time having you here.
I appreciate it, my brother. It's been a pleasure.
So, folks, you listen to